Hello everybody, this is Mr. Limba. Welcome to the MLC, that is the Mr. Limba channel. Today's topic is why black women should be worried. Why black women should be worried. First off, you guys know, for the 100th time, I am not one to speak specifically on the black woman. I speak in general about women, but I also speak on how to make the black family great again. My main target audience is black men, and then secondary, men in general. So with that said, it is difficult sometimes to avoid talking specifically about the black woman. I have one video up on my channel called Dissecting the Black Women Issue. That is a part 1. There will be other parts to that video, as I got requests to make other parts. But this video today is important, so I will speak on it, as this topic is crucial. This topic I've been holding on to for months. This topic is hopefully a topic that will save our sisters, the black women. As hard-headed as they might be, they are our sisters, and they do not realize their demise, which is close. It is imminent. It is almost guaranteed. Now, I do warn everyone that this will be a paradigm shift. This will be a change of thoughts. This will be a change of mindsets. This video will burst your social bubbles. It will destroy every social construct that you have been taught. And it will offend those who are weak. So when I start speaking on this topic, if you are offended, I highly suggest you follow my channel and other brothers similar to myself and develop a thicker skin, because you are weak if offended. Now, the reason some will be offended, specifically women, is because black people in general have lost their identity. They have no clue who they are, so they cling to the location in which they live today. Whether they live in Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Canada, the United States of America, Italy, France, Germany, they will call themselves after those countries and those nations. But what they are is a scattered nation. Whether or not you believe they are the nation of Israel and the true biblical people of the Bible, or you believe they are just Africans, either way they are a people. We all can agree that they are a singular people. A nation of people that got scattered through slavery all over the planet amongst many nations. And while there, they have picked up identities for themselves. Identities they are willing to defend with their lives. Identities they are willing to sacrifice everything to keep and defend such an identity's honor at all cost. Because it is who they believe they are. So it is understandable why they will be offended by different ideas that criticize what they believe, what they think, and what they identify themselves as. Religiously, socially, politically, economically, however you may want to label their identity. With that said, why black women should be worried. The reason why is because in the coming future, in the near future, soon, the French would say bientôt, women in general will realize the truth that men has been speaking and the lies that the feminist movement has spewed. That women are not in the Yes, my brothers. Yes, Women are not independent creatures. And this is why the black woman specifically should be worried. She should be very worried. Women are not independent creatures. Now, the first question is how? I can hear some arrogant women going, I beg to differ. I take care of everything by myself. I make my own money. I pay my own rent. I got my own mortgage. I got my own job. I got my own business. I don't need the man. It is funny because on the contrary, it is men who actually do not need women to survive. But rarely do you hear men say they don't need a woman. It is the arrogance of the woman and the lies they have put in her head to make her believe she does not need a man. But yet she is the weaker sex in every single way. Now, before those who are weak get offended, I did not say she was not an equal human being, as she is a creation of God, an equal soul, but not the equal sex, not the equal vessel. The body, the brain, the chemical makeup, and the emotions and ways of logic of a woman is inferior to that of a man. Do not take offense, because that is actually a beautiful thing. But with Western society, they would have you think it is a curse. It is to look down upon the woman. See, they got her to reject her femininity. They got her to hate who she is, which is the woman. And they have made her to take the identity of that which they have constructed. The social constructs of feminism. And as a black woman, it is even stronger. Hear me out. Women's independence is highly dependent, if not entirely dependent, upon a functioning, let me correct myself, a well-functioning society, a well-functioning civilization. Mankind is not in its most basic state a civilized creature. It is an intelligent creature. Mankind, that is. Mankind is a reasoning creature. However, it is not always a civilized creature. Let me try to quickly help you guys understand. Let me define the word civil. It is relating to ordinary citizens and their concerns, as distinct from military or ecclesiastical matters. Secular, non-religious, occurring between citizens of the same country. Relating to private relations between members of a community. Non-criminal. Fixed by custom or law, rather than by natural or astronomical. Fixed by custom or law, rather than being natural. See, humans in their natural state is not governed by law. It is not governed by order. They are not civilized. There is no civilization. Civilization allows women to be independent. Civilization allows women to be independent. Civilization is fixed by custom or law rather than being natural. We are not living natural. Most of us live in cities. Even if we live in the countryside, there is still a governing body. You still cannot hunt as you please or as much as you please, even in the countryside. You cannot go into any territory to chase a hog down or to chase a deer down or to chase a duck, some kind of pheasant that you wish to eat, because properties are marked. You might be on private property, and it is respected because it is protected by the governing body. Civilization. Women in civilization are offered institutions. Institutions for education. Institutions for security. Institutions for martial arts in self-defense. Institutions that provide firearms. Laws that permit to carry firearms. Women are provided with businesses that create bullets and gunpowder. Women are provided with something called currency. With currency, she can buy what she needs, eliminating the role of the man as a provider. She sees no use for him. And as a creature that is oftentimes driven by selfish emotions, oftentimes, not always, she quickly loses respect for him because his role has been diminished. She finds that to be grounds to no longer respect him as much as she could. I don't need him, she says. I make my own money. Civilization provides social welfare, social wealth, systems that help when you cannot make ends meet, systems that provide food if you do not work, welfare. Housing, Section 8. A woman's independence is solely, in entirety, dependent upon civilization and things that man, which they claim they do not need, have created, such as the roads they walk upon and the cars they drive, the fuel that they so easily pump, and the mechanics that they find. The simps that quickly jump out of their cars to help change a tire, thinking that they're AAA and they should provide roadside assistance, making a woman's life easy. The men who would give up their seats because she is pregnant, give her his food or his water because she has children. That is how women live the life of independence from men because of civilization. But today, we know for sure that Western civilization specifically, and to be more direct, the United States of America, is in the same position as the Empire of Rome during its final days. Western civilization is on the brink of collapse. No, I am not just talking about financial and economical collapse. It is collapsing in every way. Black women should be worried. They should be scared. Because once civilization collapses, we revert back to the natural as it was defined under civil. The third definition is fixed by custom or law rather than being natural. The animal kicks in when the rule of law weakens. If there is a hurricane and first responders and police are suspended, looters take to the streets. They are breaking and entering. People take your stuff. Doing an earthquake, doing a volcano eruption, people take advantage because the rule of law is suspended, and the animal within man is unleashed. Women need men. This is sad because our sisters, black women, the weakest minority group she is part of, which is the Negro group of Western societies, yet she isolates herself from the muscle, the leader, the aggression, the yin to the yang. The assertiveness of a man. Instead of humbling herself before good black men and following him, letting him be boss because he is boss, he is leader, she fights him and aids the enemy in destroying him. She isolates herself from him. She swirls instead, not realizing in this near future, when crap hits the fan, she will be the most endangered group of them all. How is Western society facing the same times and condition and situations that the Roman Empire faced during its last days? Well, let's check one bullet. External forces and attacks. Western civilization is experiencing external attacks, external forces that are coming against them economically. Countries such as China and Russia are calling the US dollar a bluff and asking to collapse it every day in the United Nations. Wars and more wars. Terror attacks are weakening it. An enemy with no insignia, no logo, an enemy that belongs to no country. We are in danger, people. And black women think they can do it on their own. Only for now, sister. But I'm afraid for you, for you will die soon when this collapses. Economic, which is the second bullet. As Rome faced economic crisis, Rome collapsed. Economic crisis and political corruption we have an abundance of in the Western world. In the United States of America, our GDP is dropping. That is growth domestic production, pretty much our money for the year. Home ownership is going down as many people stop buying property. Jobs are not doing well. People are not getting jobs. And those they are counting as employed are making half what they used to make, or they are just part-timers. There is an economic gap that is growing larger and larger. An ever-growing economic gap between the upper class and the lower class. While I am not some social communist liberal, as some might put it, a gap too big between the social classes, an economic gap that is too big, will create the destruction of a country. Taxation is out of control, and they are not getting it from jobs, as people are not working or purchasing as they should. Borrowers are no longer borrowing credit. This is bad for economic growth. This also brought down Rome. Number 3, expanding military and nation building. Also wars, which I mentioned before. The Western world has been involved in wars pretty much its entire existence. Wars have caused it to fall and to rise. There is always a threat for it to address, therefore draining it more in military, killing the morale of the country, people no longer wanting to join their military, so they're spending more money on technology to see if they can do more harm with less bodies. As a result, they are getting people from foreign countries, as the Romans eventually had to hire the Germanic barbarians and have them join their military, as the regular Romans now did not want to. Americans and African Americans and those who've been in America long enough, including other European countries, are moving away from military as they do not want to fight. They have lost faith in their country and in their governments. So these countries now offer residency and visas to foreigners who wish to fight. The thing is, the loyalty of these foreigners are not the same, and the pride that they hold is not the same as those who are born in that country, members of that nation, proudly serving their military. Another thing that will bring the collapse. The spending of the military to spread it across the globe with better technology, as enemies are popping up everywhere, is also weakening the country's finances. They are spending more than they could bring money in, and they have no way to pay it off. They cannot fix their infrastructure, and the country is collapsing. Cultural identity is the other one. Rome, when Christianity came to pass, changed its cultural identity. They left the polytheism and went to monotheism, serving one God rather than multiples, changing their entire culture to have another, no longer seeing the emperor as a god, losing less respect for him, causing the country to go into a spiral, a cultural spiral of decline. America has been facing many cultural declines. A lot of you guys who are members of the social justice movement, you want to change everything. You think you're going to fix racism, take down statues, change street names, legalize gay marriage, marginalize Western Southern Christian values, especially those of the evangelical faith. You are actually tampering with something that will eventually bring forth the collapse of the nation, as it will bring civil divide. And if it already had civil divide, it will make it more apparent. And the physical fighting will become larger and bigger, such as Charlottesville, such as Black Lives Matter, and the neo-Nazi movements. We are going to collapse, and we are going to collapse soon. Why black women should be worried. The last point is gossip, fear spreading, Rumors destroy civilizations, and with the growth and the emerging of the internet, rumors are spread widely and fast. Easily do your pocket vibrate. You pull out a device called a smartphone, and there is information that should make you afraid. Take your money out, put your money in. It is an unstable system at this point. So when this collapse happened, I am not saying if. I am not saying if, but when it happens, white women will cling to white men. Races will divide even more. Interracial relationships will be in danger. So black women with white men will most likely be left, if not killed. Times will be rough. It will be wars. And black women will not have black men by their sides, because they have been stubborn, rude, disrespectful, hard-headed, pig-headed, tunnel-visioned, refuse to be led by a man, manipulative while on dates with a good man, playing games with a man that married them, initiating divorces, pushing for child support, alimony, creating problems that are not there, only to realize once this civilization collapses, once these institutions are gone, once they are no more, and you have to go out there and hunt. You have to fight for yourself. You have to get into a fist fight just to keep the water that you have. Once you realize water is too heavy to carry because now you're nomadic, you have to move from one place to another, you cannot settle. You need the strength of a man to dig a well. You need the strength of a man to fight a bear, to fight a lion, to fight a wild hog. It's a man who will go through a forest full of poisonous spiders and snakes, face other groups of people that are hostile. Many of you women and many of you men who listen to my channel believe in the Bible, a very popular holy scripture. You know what the scripture speaks of, and even if you don't read it, you have heard it. The end is coming, people. And now we can see it coming. I am not one of those who get on YouTube and tell you September 23rd, August 12, 2010, 2012. No, I don't give dates. But while looking at it, I am not talking about the end of the world. I am talking about the end of certain civilizations. Those that empower women and allow them to be independent, they will fall, and they will fall soon. Most likely in your lifetime. Sorry to make this video this long, but this was necessary. Black women, when money is no longer of value, when bullets are no longer being manufactured for your guns, when you can no longer call 911, when there is no doctors, no lawyers, no bodyguards, no cell phones, and you're lacking the brute strength and the emotional stability, what the hell you gonna do? When all you had to do is be humble and loving and accept the role of a wife and understand that you are the one to submit and he is the one to lead. And life would be great. Life would be great. All you had to do was find a righteous man, a good man, not some crappy bum that you're judging every man by because that's all you're used to. And I'm sorry, brothers, I know this channel only speaks to men, but I had to take this moment. I had to speak directly to the sisters that might be listening. And remember, share these videos, man. Share them. I don't care. Post them on Facebook. Take a snip of it if you don't want to post the whole thing. Do some editing work, man. Just post the piece you like. Share it. Our people need to hear this, because this will be the destruction of our people. And more specifically, the black woman. Because she believes this is a game, but she will cry like a baby when this time arrives. And this time is not far. It is near. Oh, man. When all of this collapses, there is no independent woman. Every woman immediately need a man when we're not in civilization, when we are going back to being natural. Rome fell. Babylon fell. The Persians fell. The Greeks fell. The Soviet Union fell. Egypt fell. We are now falling in the Western societies, as the good book, the holy book prophesied. Black women, wake the hell up, or you will die. Your men are not that bad if you only realize when a good man was standing in front of you. You would see and you would cling to him as God asked you to do. First Peter, the 3rd chapter. Malachi, the 2nd chapter. Many other biblical verses speaking of how men and women should interact with each other. If you only perform your role as the submissive one, you would be a wife to a beautiful family. But if you don't, your twerking, your attitude, your sassy mouth, your defiance will not save you. You will die. And your white husbands, for those of you who swirled, will let you die. I know. That just pissed you off. Too bad, it's the truth. I'm Mr. Limba. I'm out.